Hi, welcome back to Snark and Spark. My name is Emily, and today I have a Stitch With Me video. I am in my pajamas. It is a Wednesday morning, which is my day off, so I'm just relaxing, and I was like, you know what? I haven't done a Stitch With Me in so long, and it just felt like something to bring back. It's not like they've disappeared or anything. It just felt like something to do. I've been wanting to do it. I want to do like a little series where maybe like a weekly update of just me stitching on a whip, whatever. I have to figure out where I'm going to put my pattern so you don't see it. But I am working on Letters from Hogwarts, the Stitch Your Own Adventure. I am up here in this corner, and just a reminder, this is the section I am working on. This is the design I chose. I'm really excited. It's coming along so quickly. I'm up here in the chandelier now, and working my way down to this fireplace. So yeah, it's coming along really, really well. And then after I finish this top part, I'm pausing to put in the cat Patronus, the domestic cat, because that is my sister's. I think I'm gonna have to put my pattern over here because I was gonna stick it up here, but that's just so far away. Ooh, real quick, don't look. I don't have a way of like propping it up. If I could prop it up, this would be awesome, but I don't have a way to prop it up without it like sliding, and I need to be able to see it. Oh, I'm afraid of it hitting my keyboard and like stopping my recording. No, I don't like that. It's too far away. I need it close up. Whoops, sorry. So that way I can mark the pattern as I stitch it. I'm just gonna push some stuff out of the way over here. Set it down. Perfect. Can't see it, but I can. And then I'm looking at my planner real quick. It seems really sparse, I know, but that's because I'm doing a lot of stitching. I have a stitchy goal. I have to do 1,750 stitches. So it's just been like, that's why there's nothing really else going on, because I've just been trying to do this. Obviously this amount is not 1,750. That's just because I want to like stop at an even number on this in the picture that I post of it, and then that way I'm going to move to a different whip. I'm not gonna actually stop stitching on this. I'm just using that as a picture. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Let's get stitching. Oh gosh. Hi, how are you guys? It just feels like we haven't just like sat and talked. Like it feels like I've just been doing a lot of like face videos, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It just feels like I haven't actually, I think I need more light. Not necessarily for me, but maybe for you. I don't know. Yeah, it just feels like I've been doing a lot of like update videos, but not a lot of like this is me videos. Does that make sense? Probably not. I don't know. So I just thought we could just kind of stitch together. Put me on in the background while you're stitching. We can hang out. I don't know. I like that feeling. I like sitting with, I've been in this trend right now of watching people doing vlogs of just like their everyday life, which seems kind of silly, but I don't know. It's nice. Like it feels like you're just hanging out with someone, you know, like you're just chilling. You're just hanging out. And, I don't know. I really like that. And I just thought maybe I could do that for you as well. Like we can hang out. We can just kind of chat, and it just gives you something to do. Like I definitely feel that stitching is a solo hobby. I've told my husband this. Stitching is great, and there is a huge community. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a huge community online of us stitchers. But at the end of the day, it's a solo activity. You know, like, I can't tandem stitch with my husband or with my son. You know, it's not like I'm stitching on this part of this whip and he's stitching down here. You know, you can't do it together. You can't work on the same project together. And that's kind of a bummer. And if you're like, you're really focused, it can be kind of hard to do other things like chat or watch TV. My husband really loves to watch shows and movies, and he is definitely the type of person who he just wants to be near you. Does that make sense? Like, we talk and we hang out and everything like that, but he absolutely just loves just being close. You know, it does not bother him if we're both doing our own thing, as long as I'm next to him, which is sweet. And I do appreciate that, because it is hard for me to like sit still now as I've gotten older. I'm just not a movie watcher. I watch like YouTube videos, but unless I get like hyper fixated on a show or a movie or something, it's not my jam. Like, watching TV is not my thing. I don't think I actually ever just sit and watch something. I'm always doing something else at the same time. Either I'm like playing a game on my phone, or I'm stitching, or I'm moving. Like, I'm doing something besides watching TV. And my husband is the opposite. He will just sit. He can sit and be completely engrossed, and I have no idea how he does it, other than the fact that obviously he doesn't have ADHD like I do. And is not medicated. I'm unmedicated. So, you know, we do what works. But like lately, he's been really wanting to watch what I call like detail-oriented / focused shows. Things that require you to pay attention, and it's not like conducive to sit and stitch and watch at the same time. Like the new Lord of the Rings TV show, The Rings of Power. He is a huge Lord of the Rings fan, right? And I love Lord of the Rings too. It has been a really long time since I have watched the movies or anything like that, or read the books. But like, he really, really loves Lord of the Rings. And so he wanted me to watch this show with him, and I agreed, and we've watched the first 2 episodes. I want to say, yeah, we've watched the first 2. Oh, please, I just need one more stitch in this color, and I'm afraid I'm not going to make it. Oh, come on. I don't want to thread a new strand just for this one stitch. Come on. You can do it. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Ooh, come on. I'm going to need help getting this through here. No, come on, I can do it. I'm so distracted. Lord of the Rings, but like, and it's really good. I've heard people complaining about it. It is a little slow. If you don't know what's going on, if you're not familiar with the lore, I could see where it could be really confusing. Like, I am familiar with the franchise, and even I'm a little lost at points because it's been so long. But then again, I'm also trying to stitch while we watch it, and it is definitely not a show to sit and stitch. Like, you need to be watching, you need to be paying attention, which is just so hard for me to do. I am not a sit and watch. I am a sit and stitch kind of girl. Okay, we gotta get this through. I gotta finish this tail end because there's nothing that's gonna surround it, so it has to go through. Ooh. What is wrong with me? Anyways, the whole point of this rambly conversation, I wasn't even gonna have this. I wasn't even gonna do this ramble, and here I am. Is I just have been feeling lately that stitching can be lonely. In the sense that, like I said, you can't work on a project, the same project with someone else. You know, it's your own thing. It's your own little baby. You can sit and stitch next to someone. But it's definitely like a solo thing. And I love stitching. This is not a knock against stitching, obviously. I do it to help with anxiety. I do it to keep my hands busy so that when my husband wants to watch a movie or a TV show and wants me to sit in one spot with him, I can. Oh, come on, go thread the needle. Oh gosh, I was so close. I was so close, guys. Where's my scissors? They're in my box. We're gonna trim this crazy loose little flyaway. Put that in the Ort jar. I'm not talking because I'm concentrating so hard on getting this thread through this needle. But yes, so that I can sit with him, blah, 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 blah. And I just thought, you know what? I don't have a lot of in-person stitchy friends. And in the past couple years, it has obviously been difficult to spend time with people in person. And so I just thought I would bring back like the Stitch With Me's as a way to hang out. I'm part of the Virtual Stitchers group, but I hardly ever actually get on the Zoom because I tend to get really overwhelmed when there's a lot of people, and but then conversely, I get overwhelmed when there's not a lot of people because I feel this immense pressure to talk and I did it. Woo! And to fill the silence or fill the space. And not everyone wants that. Not everyone wants to hear me talk. Some people want to just sit together, you know? They just want to have someone who's stitching with them. So I just thought, I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to give people who maybe are like me and you want the company of stitching with someone, but you don't have that connection, or maybe it's a little overwhelming to join in a big group like that. And I'm just here to hang out with you. And I just thought we could hang out for a little bit, be BFFs for a bit, and just spend time together. That was so rambly. Oh, shit. Talkie mushrooms. Don't do that. You're hearing my clicker. I will show you. I feel like it's been so long since I've shown this too. I use a tally counter to keep track of my stitches. I have electronic ones, but I really like these manual ones. Some people find it annoying, others whatever. I personally really like the click. I like the manual, the physical action of doing my stitches. And then I don't have to keep it in my head. Obviously, it only goes up to like 9,999. So this says 0575. There's more than 575 stitches in this. I have actually gone through it twice now, and this should have a 2 in front of it. I'm actually in the 20,000s of the number of stitches on this, which is a lot. This is definitely the biggest project I have ever undertaken. So, yeah. But you're going to hear that when I do some stitch counting. I will try not to get it too close to the microphone because I know that that's not an ideal sound. Oh, excuse me. Drink break. So yeah, we're already 15 minutes in, but if you don't have a beverage of your choice, get one. Hang out, get a drink. I'm drinking water. I've had my morning coffee. I'm looking at my pattern because I need to know what color is next. 841 is next. Light beige brown. I've got my giant box of floss for this project. Because there's so many colors. Oh, I have 2 in my hand, but this is the color that is next. So we can put the previous one away, which was 680, because we no longer are using it. Okay. Anyways, I thought since it's been a hot minute since I've done one of these, I could do, and again, kind of throwing it back, bringing it back to the days of like a lot of Stitch With Me's. Don't see them so much anymore. Of doing like a tag. And this is a cross stitch tag. This is called the original cross stitch tag for floss tube. And I thought I would answer those questions. We'll just hang out, see how far this goes. I think obviously I'm gonna stitch for longer than 30 minutes, but I think I'm gonna have each of these little like videos be about half an hour. I guess let me know what you think. This is the first one. I'm definitely thinking of doing like a weekly series of like Whip Wednesdays or my weekly whip. I don't know, something like that. Just something fun and cute and catchy. I'm gonna clip off this frayed end. And just try and make this like I said, like a weekly thing. Just like a hang out with me, stitch with me. It's a good way because I can stitch for as long as I want and just, stop my recordings and just have like a fun little amount for you guys. But I think that's what I'm gonna do because I've just been missing this. I don't know. I've just been really missing this quality time. That feels, I know what I'm trying to say. I just don't have the words. So I guess let me know if this is something you guys are enjoying, if it's something that you're not enjoying, if you don't want me to do this after a couple have gone up. Give it a fair shake, as we say in our house. You have to give it a fair try. And if you don't like it after I've done a couple of these, let me know. Like, just be kind. But let me know. So, let's do this tag. And hopefully, there's only 15 questions, so let's see if I can answer them. Oh gosh, I'm rearranging so I can get comfy. Washington has just joined me. He is sitting in the computer chair next to me. Hopefully he won't jump up here. He's had an adventurous morning. I'll tell that story in a different video. And see, like, I also enjoy this because I feel like this is a good way for me as well to maybe tell you some like fun little stories that's happening in my life each week without it getting put into my like stitchy reading update videos. I always feel weird tacking that on at the end of my videos of like my my regular videos. Like, oh, by the way, here's my life. I don't know. I feel awkward doing that. I feel like I'm not good at it. I'm not comfortable enough with it. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I'm talking way too much. Let's just stitch. That's the point of this though, isn't it? Stitch and talk. Okay. Starting like the fireplace, and it starts 1, 2, 1, 2, and then over. Was I right? Did I already have it in the right hole and I pulled it out? That's okay. Okay, number 1. How did you start, or who introduced you to cross stitch? I don't think I've actually talked about this, which is fun. So actually, maybe I have. I was taught how to cross stitch in school. So in middle school, we had a home ec class that I believe 8th graders took. I can't remember if it was required. I think it was. In like 7th or 8th grade, like our final year of like middle school, intermediate school, whatever you want to call it, your last like year of that, they did like a semester, a rotational semester of like skills, because in Indiana, where I grew up, in high school, you know, you got to choose your elective, and so you weren't forced to stick with an elective you didn't like, versus, you know, all through elementary school, middle school, up until this point, you know, you have to do a rotation of, you take art, you take music, and you take, you know, gym, physical education. You have to take these skills, versus once you go into high school, they let you choose. You still have to do an elective, but they let you choose. So your last like year or two of like middle school, intermediate school in the district I grew up in, you tried everything out essentially like one last time, and you would spend like a whole semester or grading period worth of time doing that particular elective. So you'd spend a whole section of time in art and art only. We spent a whole section of time in music, and you spent, gym was always like a thing you had to do no matter what, because physical education is super important, obviously. So you couldn't like elect out of that, but you could choose other skills, including like typing. I was still in the age group of, they had typing classes where they taught us to type. But also one of those was home ec, which was just, you know, basic home ec skills. And we did baking, and we did cleaning and household measuring and stuff like that. But then we had a whole unit of like, I don't even remember what it was, or like why we were taught how to cross stitch, but we were. I think it was like under like sewing, and then like also like needlepoint hobbies. But we were taught how to cross stitch, and we were given the pattern for a bookmark to make that was like the colors and themes of like the high school that we were going to be funneled into. And so I actually made a bookmark with cross stitch, with back stitch. There's even a French knot in it, and felt backing. Like, yeah. But I did. I made my very first cross stitch piece as a school project. I was taught in school when I was about 12 or 13. And I remember really enjoying it and really, really liking it. And in fact, I still have that bookmark. It is currently sitting upstairs on my dresser, because I wanted to actually include it in a video and show you that, and like share that story. But I've shared it now, which is really fun. 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I actually started stitching when I was like a preteen, but I put it down after that. I walked away. Oh, there's a fly in here. That's frustrating. And did not start stitching again until I was an adult, probably about 10 years later, more than 10 years later. It wasn't actually until I had graduated college and we had moved here to Iowa and I was a stay-at-home mom with Caden. And then once he started kindergarten, I needed something to do with my time while he was at school. And between, just hanging out at home and reading and cleaning and stuff, I was like, I need a hobby. I need something to do. And I started stitching again. I remembered it. It like popped into my brain, and then I started looking into it to see, like, is that a thing still? Can I do this? And yes, cross stitch is still alive, which is exciting. Oh, did I do too many? No, I didn't. Yay. Okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna be able to finish all of these in half an hour. But yeah, so a teacher introduced me, and I started it as a school project, put it down for a long time, and then came back to it, which I love. 2, do I have a favorite theme or designer? Definitely spooky. I feel like I have a lot of Halloween things. I have a lot of like Halloween patterns or interests. I have a lot of I don't want to say dark, but I feel like I'm drawn to that. I love modern pieces that are kind of dark and spooky, and that's just me though. I love that. That's my interest. I want to stitch those, and I love that there is like a market for that has become a popular. I need to stop and count because I am and like cross off stitches because I'm getting distracted. There are so many cross stitch like stores on Etsy and stuff now that are completely dedicated to spooky, scary kind of stuff, and I love that. But I also really, really love Mirabilia and Nora Corbett. So I guess technically Nora Corbett. I love her designs. I have stitched only one, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I did that right. Okay, cool. I was looking at the previous row and I was trying to stitch it again, and I didn't need to do that. Good. I only need 5 more stitches before I need to take a picture to like get to the 600. But I love Nora Corbett. I stitched Thistle Fairy. Thistle, I think it was just called Thistle. It was part of her Poison Pixies. As a friend, as a wedding gift for a friend, because her maiden name was Thistle. And that was really, really important to her. And I found it and I loved it, and so I stitched her Thistle, and it reminded me just like of her, like as a person and as a character. So I was like, here is a representation of you and your name and your family name, and so you are Thistle, and I gave it to her. But I loved it. I loved working on that piece. I loved every second of that piece. It was great. I also did one of their free designs. I did their like 2018 Mirabilia Retreat. I don't think it was Nora Corbett, but it was Mirabilia. Their Dragonfly from 2018. I feel like you remember. I was so pumped about that piece as well. That was a great piece to stitch. I also really loved that. I think the colors are always really great. I love watching the pieces. They just really feel like they come to life to me. So yeah, like I don't know. I love spooky themes, but I love like Nora Corbett and Mirabilia designs. I really, really do. So And I have a lot of them now. I've just started like hoarding them, and which is a whole other video I want to eventually do, but like I'm tired of hoarding like my favorite designs, and instead I'm stitching on pieces that like I like. Obviously I like, I've bought them, but they're not my favorite. Or I'm stitching them out of like obligation, and I'm tired of doing that. I want to stitch for me. So yeah, I believe that's my 5, which is why I stopped. Okay, we're gonna count these, and I'm gonna end this here because we're at 30 minutes. And I did that. Gosh, that was not very many stitches at all. I only did 25 in 30 minutes. That's ridiculous. I was talking too much. Okay, fiddling with that really small string. And this thread needs to be ended anyways. So actually, yeah, I'm gonna end the video here, take my picture in this thread, and start another one because I can. But I will see you all very, very soon. Thanks for watching.